Good day everyone, I'm Alarilla, Peace Criminology 3-1, and now we will discuss about the Chapter 3, Traffic Laws, Rules and Regulation and other related statutes. This chapter presents the various traffic laws, rules and regulation and other statutes governing traffic. Lesson 1 or the traffic rules and regulations. In the Philippines, the mass of traffic laws, rules and regulations have their source in laws, presidential decrees, executive orders, and other special laws relative to traffic operation and traffic law enforcement. The following are the basis for the traffic regulations and the provisions in the country. First is the Republic Act. Sample of this is the commonly known Republic Act or the Republic Act 4136. This is the basic law regulating land transportation in the Philippines. It has repealed Act number 3992 or the revised motor vehicle. Is the presidential decrees. Example of this is the PD 101, expediting the methods of prescribing, redefining, or modifying the lines and modes of operations of public utility motor vehicles in the Philippines. Next, the letter of instructions or LOIS. Example of this is our LOI number 43, providing for the removal of impediments on roads, streets, and highways such as constructions, stalled or parked vehicles, and other movable property that obstruct free passage. This LOI abrogated city or municipal ordinance governing the disposition of traffic on duty and municipal streets throughout the country. Ito yung mga binabawal nila yung pagpaparada sa mga national highways, lalo na pag sa yung nakakabala sa ating mga trapiko. The next is the department orders or the DOs. A sample of this is the DO 88-3005, rules of pleadings, practice and procedures for appeals on franchising, fare rates, charges and other related matters pertinent to land transportation public utilities. Ito naman yung nagtatakda kung gaano kataas yung mga singil sa pamasahe. The next is the administrative and special orders. Sample of this is the administrative order number 8 section S 1968 LTC, requiring the towing and impounding of stalled motor vehicles on public highways and the imposition of corresponding fees thereof. Ito yung makikita na mga nagtotow sa mga illegally parked na mga sasakyan sa ating mga kalsada. Number 6, Memorandum Circulars. LTC Memorandum to all patrol officers, deputies, and agents dated 9 August 1975, directing the motor vehicles whose loads are rice, cereals, fertilizers, and other prime commodities are not be apprehended and stopped on roads and high expect only in cases of serious violations. Ito yun naman hindi na pinapara kung yung mga example ito yung mga pagkain, mga rice o kaya yung mga fertilizer, hindi nila ito pinapara except lang sa kung merong mga major violations na naganap. Next, the executive orders. Example of this is the executive order number 125, reorganizing the DOTC, defining its power and functions and for other purposes. The next is the other special laws, the statutes. First, or sample of this is the Batas Pambansa bilang 344, Act to enhance the mobility of disabled persons by requiring certain building, institution, establishment, and public utilities to install facilities and other device. Naman yung makikita natin sa mga, especially sa mga malls o mga daanan, makikita yung mga sign na pwedeng dapat daanan ng mga disabled or person with disabilities. Next lesson is the important provisions of RA 4136. Words and phrases used in RA 4136. Motor vehicle shall mean by any vehicle propelled by any power other than muscular powers using the public highways, but excepting road rollers, trolley cars, street sweepers, sprinklers, and cranes if not used in public highways. Next is the passenger automobiles. Shall mean all pneumatic tire vehicles of type similar to those usually known under the following terms: touring car, command car, speedster, sports car, roadster, jeep, and cycle car. Next, articulated vehicle shall mean any motor vehicle with a trailer having no front axle and so attached that part of a trailer rests upon the motor vehicle. The next is the driver shall mean every and any licensed operator of a motorcycle or a motor vehicle. Next, the professional driver. Every and any driver hired for driving or operating on a motor vehicle. Next is the owner, dealer, garage, gross weight, highways, parking or park, and tourism. The next is the selected provisions of RA 4136. It is the exceeding registered capacity. Ito na may mga common type na mga napaviolate ng ating mga road users. Exceeding registered capacity or overloading. Karamihan yung mga sasakyan, lalo na yung mga single, nag-overloading minsan 3, minsan lang 4 pa. That is a violation of our 4136. Next is the cargo carrying device. The construction device for carrying cargo at the rear sides or sides of truck may be allowed. Next is the riding on top of the motor vehicle. Passengers shall not be allowed to ride on top of motor vehicles, but baggage or freight may be carried on the top of the truck. Ito yun naman yung mga minsan makita natin sa karaniwan to sa mga tricycle na may mga nagpapasakay sa taas ng tricycle, which is violation of our RA 4136. Example of this mga violation is hitching onto a vehicle, driving while under the influence of liquor, obstruction of traffic, duties on driver in case of accident, and so forth and so forth. This is the registration of motor vehicles. RA 4136 mandates that all motor vehicles shall be registered by its owner before the designated district offices of the Land Transportation Office. Law enforcement officers should keep themselves abreast with the proper procedures of registering motor vehicles for them to easily identify unregistered motor vehicles or motor vehicles having expired registration. Dito naman makikita kung pwedeng makita kung sino may-ari, kung anong hindi rehistradong motor, kung kailan ang expiration nito, at para may pataw ang mga necessary penalties sa mga unregistered sa ating mga motor vehicles. Next is the classification of registered motor vehicles. First, the private. Second, public utility vehicles. The next is government, and the last one is the diplomat. Plate numbers. Upon registration, motor vehicles are assigned with plate numbers. The letter and the numerical prefixes as well as the assigned colors are based on the date and place of registration. Hindi mo na pwedeng basta baguhin yung color ng vehicle mo, lalo na pag nakaka-register na to. Kung ito yung mga government officials, makikita at natin na mga government officials ay gumagamit ng mga sasakyan na may red plate, which means na mga ito ay from government or may government officials na nakasakal. For private or non-for-hire motor vehicles, green with white background or newer vehicles, the first letter usually indicates the region where the vehicle is registered. Kung ano yung mga letter na nasa plaka natin ay nag-indicate kung saan tong region naka-register. Upon registration ng ating mga motor vehicles, makikita dito yung mga kung saang region to naka-assign based on the first letter sa plate number. Example ito yung pag naka-register sa region 2. It begins with letter B, region 3, C, region 4A, region 4D, region 5E. Yun ang mga examples.